Hi everybody, welcome back to the Leonardo the Lion tutorial finishing series. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to embroider on his facial features. So today I'll be embroidering on his mouth. So that's gonna go down like this, and his little whiskers in my contrast color number 2, which is red feather. So this is a little bit different than I'm going to be demonstrating duplicate stitch in a future tutorial, which will cover stitching his crown emblem onto his sweater. But this is a little different. This is back stitch, and it's meant to sit on above the fabric and not in the fabric like duplicate stitch does. So let me just get started by showing you how to do this. So the first thing to do is find a way in with your needle. I'm just going to go like this above his nose. And I have a nice long tail here. A little bit of stuffing fluffed out, but basically what I'm going to do is come up through the tip of his nose right here, like just under the tip of his nose, and create myself a beginning loop. So what I'm going to do is go down exactly through the hole that I came up through, and then a few stitches down I'm going to come up through the fabric like so, and this is going to create a little loop in my fabric, in my stitch. So it's kind of like you're creating a chain on top of your knitted fabric, like a crochet chain without crocheting. So let's just do it again. I'm gonna go down where I came up through, come up a few stitches down. You don't want to pull too hard on this. You want it to sit above the fabric. If I started pulling too hard, it would kind of like pull down into the fabric, and we don't want that for this. So you're just kind of going in a straight line down. I'll just keep going. Come over just ever so slightly. See that? This is such a fun embroidery technique. It looks great when you're actually like doing a proper embroidery with floss, but it also works great for embroidering on facial features. So as I get towards the bottom, I want to start thinking about where his smile is going to split. Because what we're going to do is we're going to get down to, I'm almost there. I'm just going to do one more stitch, and then I'm going to go around like this with the chain, and then come back and do the other side. So let's just keep on going. I'll show you what that looks like. Here we go. It's that last little stitch I was talking about. So now what we want to do is start going this way for his little smile. So we're still angling downwards, but we're going off to the side now. Now, if you're a person that happens to have a fabric marker lying around, if you sew, you could actually just trace his smile on if you wanted a line to follow for this. I'm just kind of winging it because I don't have a fabric marker at hand close by. I did valiantly search for it in my sewing box, but it was nowhere to be found. So my guess is that years ago it probably ran out of its magic ink, and I tossed it and totally forgot that I had. But fabric markers are great because they obviously the line washes away and they're very faint, but It's no matter because so far I think his smile looks pretty great. So I'm just kind of angling the yarn where I want it to, in the line where I want it to go. And that's my guideline. So I'm just kind of gently arcing his little smile up. And what I love about his little smile facial expression is oops, sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera. His little smile facial expression, it kind of like negates his little scowly eyes. So he's like friendly, but kind of in a little bit of a bad mood, which I love. Feeling like he really identifies with me during quarantine right now. All right, so I think that's pretty cute. So what I'm gonna do to finish this particular side is tack it down by just going straight down through the fabric. And I'm gonna come up through that same place that we split before, so that you don't have to like cut a brand new piece of yarn just to do this other side. So this is where the gold standard comes in. You want to try and mimic, if you want to. Of course, you can make him smirk. You can do whatever you want. You can. It's your lion, so you can make him have whatever facial expression you want. But what I want to do is create a somewhat symmetrical smile here. And of course, nothing has to be perfect. Let's get him this way. So here is pretty much where we want his mouth to start going back up. Here we go. One more. We'll check to see how that looks. There he is with his little smile. So for this one, I'm going to go back down and I'm going to cross over and I'm going to come back up to trim it. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. Now that his little smile is done, we can go forth and embroider on his little whiskers. So I think I can probably use either one piece of yarn per side, or maybe I can cut, I don't know if I'll be able to use one piece for both sides. That would be sweet. Let's see. So I'm going to start with the left side of his face over here. And starting with the top, I'm going to start with the top whisker. So I'm just consulting her pattern. And I'm just kind of looking where his whiskers are. So they aren't huge. So there's a bit of space here between them where they start with the mouth and they go off to the side. So it looks like they actually start right about here. So I'm going to try and kind of mimic the slant in his nose and come out right here. So they aren't too big. Go right here, and then I'm going to come up just a couple rows below, and then I'm going to go straight out and go in. So I'm just, if you can see, I'm going in the same column came out of on both sides, but I'm just angling the whiskers at the outer edge. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. I want this one to go down a little bit and come right here, I think. So let's see how that looks. So I went 1, 2, 3 and a half. 1, 2, 3 and a half. I'm going to try and come out pretty much at the same side over here. Now the question is, do we like that? And what I think is, there's too much space right here. So I'm going to take that out. So I'm going to go through there, and I'm going to come up and pay close enough attention to how few rows there were between the top and middle whisker. Come up right there. So again, I want to come up basically in the same spot over here. Look at that, so cute. And mimic it on this side. So there we go. There are his little whiskers. And you know, they don't look exactly like Brenda's. They have a charm all their own, but I like them. So I'm gonna go back down into the fabric and pull that end. And then I'm gonna hide away this little end over here. By going back down through the fabric and kind of up in the same spot. Well, I'm thoroughly charmed with this. There he is. Okay, so next stay tuned for his duplicate stitch. And then the big finale will be attaching his mane, which is going to be very exciting. I think he's a little grumpy now that he doesn't have his beard, as men tend to get when they don't have a beard and they're used to it. So stay tuned for the duplicate stitch tutorial next. Thanks, guys.